So in the first 3 months of this year, ESPN lost about 350,000 subscribers, representing about a $50 million decline in revenue for them for the year. And the reason this is happening is because audiences are changing. The demographics are increasingly watching live sports content on more diverse platforms. You've got the social platforms entering the arena requiring sports rights. You've got all of this fragmentation. And traditional production constraints mean that it's simply too expensive for all of these big networks to compete with all of these new entrants. So my name is Ben Reynolds, and we're here today raising the final $400,000 of a $1.5 million Series C. That round is currently being led by the Greg Norman Company, so really interesting to hear the Golf Innovation panel before. And we also have executives from ESPN, Twitter, some of the big social platforms already in that round. So what do we do? Well, let's talk a little bit about alternate commentary. Now, alternate commentary is nothing new. Everyone saw at March Madness, Turner rocked up with their 10 casts, and you could listen to the Michigan with an overcall on the final, and ESPN have been doing mega casts for years. The issue with them is they cost literally millions of dollars to put on. They have to rent studio time, they have 18 to 20 people sitting doing the production on the back end, and they have thousands and thousands of dollars going into infrastructure to support all of these different alternate takes on the same piece of live content. What if we could make it far cheaper? What if we could do it from consumer hardware? That's exactly what Spalk does. Spalk has built technology which works off a piece of consumer hardware, off a laptop, and allows a fan anywhere in the world to commentate an existing piece of live coverage, and for our technology to synchronize their audio up to the existing feed. This means as a sports fan, you can go and pick a commentator to suit their language, style, or team bias. And we've got a running joke here that we're trying to get rid of Joe Buck, although I know he's a St. Louis guy, so we've got to stay loyal to him. So how does this all work? Well, we've built a clever piece of technology that effectively uses timestamps on the video to allow the alternate audio tracks to be synchronized up. The viewer can either watch on their existing OTT platform, and that's where our business model comes in, and pick and choose a commentator, or the content owner will be publishing it off to an existing social platform where they're distributing that content, whether it's MLB pushing customized content onto Facebook, or a league watching directly through a platform like ESPN+. So here's an example from a group who we're currently doing a big pilot with called Flow Sports. So Flow Sports stream over 30,000 pieces of collegiate and niche content each year. You can see alongside the live stream, there's a list of alternate commentators. Maybe you don't speak English as your primary language and you want to listen to somebody else speaking Spanish. You can do that. What happens if you want to have an influencer, whether it's an alternate sports presenter or a sports blog doing a commentary? You can do that. Those commentators are sitting all around the world behind laptops, and we're enabling the injection and the synchronization of their audio without spending millions of dollars on studios and production trucks to do it. So the big benefits for the rights owner, and that's really where our value proposition is they can increase viewership, they can increase their audience size, because suddenly they don't have the same commentator talking to all of the fans. They have fans able to pick a commentator that better represents them. Whether that's a younger female demographic being able to pick an Instagram celebrity who they identify and they like the values of, or it's an alternate language feed. I mean, a fun fact here in just across the border in Illinois, the border, the state line, in Illinois, 20% of families don't speak English as their primary language in the home. And yet you've got Fox Sports Midwest distributing English-only language across that entire region. So you can see the huge value proposition of being able to customize that content at an simply unprecedented scale. Additionally, you get reduced production costs. You can do hundreds of commentators with zero marginal cost on each additional one because of the way our technology is set up. And the best part about all of this is it works within existing production workflows. There's no new box sitting out at your production center. There's no new studio being rented. We're all completely software-based. So let's give you an example of how we go and commercialize this in the real world. FIBA, the international governing body for basketball, they tested us at the tail end of last year when we were still very much in the MVP stage on a range of their youth tournaments. So they allow fans to log on around the world and call games in different languages and different styles. On the Under-19 World Cup, they ended up having over 90 commentators in 5 languages calling games for over 6 million fans all around the world. We were the ones powering that custom experience at that sort of scale. Coming into this year, they've now renewed, or they've picked us up for 5 of the headline events in what is a $25,000 deal, only for their youth events. And we expect that to grow throughout the year as we get into the Premium Men's, Premium Women's, and 3x3 tournaments. And that's really where the kicker is on the monetization side. With World Rugby, we signed these guys earlier in the week. So World Rugby are picking us up for the Under-20 World Champs, which are happening this weekend in France. And that's a lead into the Rugby Sevens World Cup at the end of July, where again they'll be using Spalk to power a fan engagement solution where they can have alternate commentators coming on to do different languages to really help them grow the sport internationally. So traction, we've got over 100 content partners at various levels, ranging from smaller colleges and niche content providers through to some of these bigger names. Additionally, we've got really good relationships with the major publishing platforms. We're pushing a lot of content at these guys, and in return, they're starting to say, hey, can you go and talk to our other sports content partners because you're growing our audience. We love that. You can go and sell to them as well, and everyone's happy. Additionally, we've built some industry-leading technology. We have a patent around our synchronization tech. Nobody else in the world can do what we do when it comes to remote synchronization of audio. And we've built this integration with a bunch of the industry-leading video streaming and providing companies. We've got a pretty aggressive revenue plan, hoping to hit about $400,000 by the tail end of this year, and scaling that quite aggressively as we grow in North America into some of these second string rights holders. So that's the Power 5, that's some of the NASCAR, MLS, some of these second tier rights holders, before really having a crack at the number 1 rights holders in the country. And we're playing in a huge space. This is the best thing about it. Almost $30 billion is spent each year on acquiring the rights to broadcast live sports. With that sort of investment, we know rights holders are looking for better ways to grow their audience, recruit their investments, and monetize that audience. And that's exactly where we come in. The great thing about us, we are originally a New Zealand founded business. I'm now living in New York with Alex Porte, one of our business development associates. The team is still running engineering back in New Zealand, but we are used to getting on planes. So the great thing for us, and I think we're quite unique from this standpoint, is we're used to doing business in the UK, we're used to doing business in Australia, we're used to doing business in Southeast Asia. And so while America and North America is our priority and our focus from a commercialization angle, we're still getting so much inbound coming in from offshore because of all the partnerships we have there. This is really jumpy. So we have a fantastic team. Myself, my co-founder Michael, we started the business literally in our dorm room, sort of a year out of college. 2 years ago, when we started doing our own sports commentary, we were sick and tired of the regular network announcers, and pretty soon figured out that, hey, maybe there's a business in here synchronizing our commentary up to the TV feed. And so that's exactly what we built the software to do. Alongside that, Michael's running an engineering team of 5 back in New Zealand, and like I say, I'm up here in the US, really growing the business in North America. We're really lucky that the Greg Norman company has come in to lead our seed round. So we do have some remaining application after he committed about 2 weeks back, and looking to fill that before the end of June so that we can really focus and get back onto execution. In terms of the use of funds, for us this is all about sales, sales, sales. What that means on one side is it's all about direct sales and monetizing our existing pipeline. This includes some of the biggest rights holders in Australia and Southeast Asia, as well as starting to crack and get into some of the Power 5 and smaller Div 1 conferences up in the US. Alongside that, really deepening our channel partnerships and the way that we're monetizing our relationships with people like Brightcove and Uyala, who really have all these connections and relationships into the people we're trying to sell to. Finally, we've got Sport TV, which is an embryonic Twitch-style platform for Div 2, Div 3 and other niche college content. With that, we're really looking to start monetizing some of these lower tier rights holders, so that when we start talking to NBA, NFL, ESPN, we're coming in the door with 100,000 commentators, and that becomes a very interesting proposition to them. We're obviously pretty fresh-faced founders, and so a big part of the use of these funds is really deepening our executive team skill set, bringing on VP sales here in the US, VP Engineering back home in New Zealand to support Michael, and also a virtual CFO who we're currently sort of doing some interviews with to make sure that we're using these funds most effectively. But look, we're super excited to be, I guess, really disrupting a multi-billion-dollar industry for something that started 2 years ago, literally in our sort of former college apartment dorm room to where we are now. We're really excited by the opportunity that's been ahead of us. And with Stadia's involvement, look, I think I'm not going to lose the accent, but we're happy that we've really Americanized the business over the past 6 months.